Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making the time to attend this inaugural session and this very important conference for us. A special welcome to delegates and potential investors who have traveled to Bhutan. If you've come to Bhutan to look for possibilities to engage in large-scale monoculture farming that requires large tracts of land and chemical fertilizers and insecticides, you've come to the wrong place. After all, Bhutan is a very small country. We don't have large tracts of land. Just 38,000 square kilometers. And those 38,000 square kilometers are completely steep mountains or deep gorges. We have precious little plain land, hardly any plain land. To make matters worse for those who want to engage in large-scale farming, for them, our entire countryside is covered with forests. 70% of our country is covered with forests. To make matters worse, we have only 700,000 people. We don't have scale in terms of labor. And to make matters even worse, of 700,000 people, many are now going to school and refuse to stay in their farms. And those who are in their farms engage in subsistence agriculture, subsistence farming, very little commercial activity. Our youth who have gone through school don't want to go back to their farms. And so if you've come here to engage in large-scale agriculture and farming, you've come to the wrong place. But ladies and gentlemen, if you've come here, if you've come to Bhutan to engage in niche farming, natural farming, wholesome farming, organic farming, you've come to the right place. Bhutan is a small country, but this small country has tremendous variation in altitude. I found these props here. So this is Bhutan. On the south, we are as low as 100 meters above sea level along the south. Along the north, it's the Great Himalayas, and we go as high as 7,500 meters. In between the 100 meters above sea level and 7,000 meters, you can have any type of variation that your heart desires. We do not climb from 100 meters above sea level to 7,000 meters in one constant gradient, but rather it's like folds, beautiful folds. We go up and then down, up and down, up and down, offering farmers a huge variety of landscape. But what's more, this little country, which has huge variations in altitude, is located at about 26 to 27 degrees north of the equator. If this same altitude variation was located near the equator, the whole country would be just one dense jungle. Or it should be that way. If it were located higher north, like the Swiss Alps, for instance, the entire country would be the same weather pattern. But because we are just outside the tropics, the southern part of the country is very warm. The northern part is icy cold. And between the south and the north, you can get any type of temperature to grow literally any type of crop. To enhance agriculture, the potential of farming, we are located just outside the Bay of Bengal. What this means is that we are blessed with rain. In the south, we can have as much as 5,000 millimeters of rain, 5 meters of rain. It's this high per year on average. In the north, it gets less. In Thimphu, where we are, It's just 500 meters, 500 millimeters of average rainfall per year. That's half a meter. So between 5 meters in the south and half a meter in Thimphu, you get a variation of, again, climatic conditions to grow all manner of wonderful products. If you need water, if you need irrigation water, we have plenty of that. And they come from our glaciers. Our country is fed by mountain glaciers and springs because the water table in the Himalayas, in our part of the Himalayas, is naturally high. We've protected our watersheds. You cannot go to any part of the country where you cannot hear the sound of water. Our water is pristine. It is clean. It is as nature intended it. If you require pure water to make good beer, you bet you require good water to grow good organic crops. 70% of our country is under forest cover. Much of it is pristine. What this means is our soil that is available for farming is also pure, as nature intended. And now we have a small farming force. We do not have enough farmers. And the farmers that we have engage in subsistence agriculture. Our youth who have graduated from school don't want to go back to their farms. But you give them the opportunity to grow high value, high quality, high price fetching products, organic products, and they will return to their farms. So we have educated workers who, with your guidance and with your investment, will be willing to till our fertile soil, our natural soil. This is why our apples taste different. When we say Bhutan is a carbon negative country, what does it mean? Our air is relatively cleaner than any other part of the world. When you talk of carbon negative and emissions, it's not just carbon dioxide. Countries that are highly polluted emit carbon dioxide, but they emit carbon monoxide and a range of sulfur dioxides and nitrous oxides, mercury, lead, particulates, are all in the air, which is invariably absorbed by the soil and the plants. Bhutanese apples are organic. If you've tasted Bhutanese apples, they are flavorful, not bland. Some of the flavors can be complex. When you bite it, it's crispy, but the texture is not totally consistent. It's different with every bite. It's sweet, but you can get tartness also. And you can work in our farms to create that balance. The color is not perfect. The shape is not identical. It's unique. Each apple is unique. And that's what's special about it. Once you've been introduced to Bhutanese apples, I dare say you will not want to bite any other type of apple. This is another apple. Probably comes from New Zealand. It's beautiful, it'll be crunchy. But after some time, it's just monotonous. There's no flavor, there's no depth, there's no balance. between the sweetness and tartness that apples require. Why is this possible in Bhutan? Because of the range in altitude, because of the fact that we are near the outside the tropics, because of the rainfall, because of our clean water, because of the clean air, because of our neighboring forests, because of the pristine soil, and because we can have educated farmers. It's not just apples. I enjoy honey. And I refuse to eat any other honey because for the simple fact that I know that the bees that produce the honey in Bhutan are not exposed to toxins in the air. I know that much, whatever the label says. And so I am very cautious about enjoying honey elsewhere. Peanut butter. I eat copious amounts of peanut butter. But that peanut butter is made in Bhutan, and the ingredients of it is nothing but peanuts, nothing else. No sugar, no salt, no emulsifiers, no preservatives, no fat, no trans fat especially. It's just pure, raw peanut butter. And because I know what goes into it, I find it more flavorful. And I cannot eat another bottle of Skippies. And it's not just apples and honey and peanut butter. There's asparagus, there's avocados. There's a wide range of grain. And talking of grain, there's quinoa. Quinoa. We have several grains in the same family that belong to the same genus of the quinoa. But the quinoa is special. And we are grateful to FAO for designating quinoa in Bhutan, the cultivation of quinoa, on their One Country, One Product program. Bhutan is the only country that has identified quinoa in their One Country, One Product. We must keep it that way. We value this crop so much that in Dzongkha, the name is Aji Hechum. Aji as in princess. A royal cereal. And the name was given by His Majesty the King. And so we will make this work. Our One Country, One Product program is going to work. Because we are talking about a royal cereal christened by none other than His Majesty the King. In order to work, we must join hands. Farmers and technologists and scientists and international investors with Bhutanese farmers and investors. I'm delighted to see so many Bhutanese participants. Many of them are young, many of them have just started business. That sense of enterprise, that entrepreneurial spirit, it's what is required to take Bhutanese farming and agriculture to the next level. What is also required is government commitment. And so, I will give you a guarantee. We will look at our policies, we will revise them. We will listen to your recommendations and take them into account as we review and revise our policies. We will provide whatever support is required, including the provision of state land for you to practice organic farming. But it's not just policies and land. For the 13th five-year plan, we have an ambitious program to take agriculture forward. In this journey, we are grateful to the Food and Agricultural Organization for not just guiding us, but for providing our resources. And we are especially grateful to the government of India for providing huge resources to make the 13th five-year plan successful but also to ensure that farming is taken to the next higher level through the project-tied assistance, through the small development grant, through the program grant, and through the economic stimulus plan that is going to benefit farmers and agriculture. A plan that we will launch later this week. We have much to do. We have a nation to feed. Let's feed this nation good food, nutritious food. We have the Gelifu Mindfulness City coming up on our border, the vision of His Majesty the King. That's going to require a lot of food. And as a mindfulness city, you can imagine, it's going to require only organic food, the best food. We cannot feed the world. We're too small. But I have an idea. Let's give some people in the world a taste of an apple that once they bite it, they don't want to bite into any other apple. Thank you very much.